to my fellow signatories this afternoon, to Kate Forbes, Member of the Scottish Parliament and Economy Secretary, and to Ian Stewart, Member of Parliament and Minister for Scotland. Thank you both for joining us today and your continuing support for the Falkirk area. Also joining us are Charles Hammond, OBE, Chief Executive of Forth Ports, Chief Executive of Falkirk Council. I would like to thank them all and their teams and our other partners in the Economic Partnership and the deals team in both governments for their hard work to put this deal together. Falkirk District contributes significantly to Scotland's GDA, with its rich blend of nationally important industrial assets, with a reputation for high-value manufacturing, which is vital post-COVID and post-Brexit, and the export gateway in the form of the port, and of course, our internationally recognised tourist attractions. It is easy to see why the Council and its partners are promoting the area as Falkirk and Grangemouth Investment Zone. Signing of the growth deal is a milestone for Falkirk, which will enable us to take forward our investment zone vision. As we continue to grow our industrial base, we will see the investment in technology, skills and innovation that will ensure that future growth is green growth, with the goal of bringing forward a just transition and reaching net zero by 2045. The investment zone also includes provisions for breathing new life into the area's town centres, a need that all communities in Scotland will be able to relate to now more than ever. It will maximise the potential of our area as a tourist destination, adding value to iconic structures such as the Falkirk Wheel and the Kelpies by developing the canal-side visitor and cultural facilities around those to really put the area on the map. This work will, of course, be underpinned by a programme of employability, skills and supply chain development to improve access to jobs, raise incomes and engage communities, ensuring the benefits are felt by all residents and that in our economic recovery from COVID-19, nobody is left behind. There will be a real focus on the needs of our communities within the investment zone and new ways of engaging them in investment decisions, developing new models, including place-based investment models and community wealth building. I welcome the spirit of the partnership we've engendered here in Falkirk. It's a very special bond we have created, and the signing of this deal today signifies that bond. I look forward to working with both governments and all our partners to ensure the growth deal for Falkirk makes a significant economic impact and ensures that Falkirk Engagement Investment Zone continues to drive economic benefits for Scotland and the UK. I'm delighted to now sign the growth deal heads of terms agreement on behalf of Falkirk Council. May I now invite Kate Forbes to sign on behalf of the Scottish Government.
Thank you, Cecil, for that, and thanks for the invitation. I wonder if I could say a few remarks first before signing, if that's okay. Very grateful to be able to join you this morning, or this afternoon rather. The day seems to have been packed already, and delighted to have responsibility for the growth deals within my portfolio just now. Cecil, I'm just going to double check that you do want us to say remarks first, or are you just wanting us to sign?
No, that's absolutely
great.
Fine. That's absolutely fine, Kate.
Great, fantastic. Well, this deal is of huge importance to Falkirk. I don't think the impact can be fully captured by some of the figures that we've already seen reported in terms of the contribution to GVA and the number of jobs that will be created. A few weeks ago, I laid out 3 priorities for the wider public sector for Scotland as a whole, which are quite clearly demonstrated within the deal. And that is tackling inequalities, supporting our economy, and ending our contribution to climate change. And the package of projects within the Falkirk growth deal reinforces that these are shared priorities. And I actually think that Falkirk and the surrounding areas can show the rest of Scotland how to deliver on these objectives well, because the growth deal will quite clearly create economic opportunities for green jobs, for prosperity, and for greater well-being, particularly for those that need it the most in Falkirk. And I wanted to just take a few minutes to expand a little bit on what I mean by that. Because if I take transport first, the £21 million of investment in a sustainable transport hub and the associated active travel routes will open up connections for communities in Falkirk and the wider Forth Valley. And alongside our £3 million of funding for the Falkirk Arts Centre, the sustainable transport investment will support the regeneration of town centres in Falkirk and Grangemouth. And I see Michael Matheson on this call, both in his capacity as local MSP, but also as the Minister responsible for transport, and indeed the Minister that used to be responsible for the growth deal. So I think he probably takes more credit than I do in getting us to this point. But if we step back from transport, taking pride in our surroundings is quite obviously vital to the local Falkirk community. And the Forth and Clyde Canal has been enhanced in recent years to huge success, and we believe that there are further opportunities to reinforce that. And so the £3 million of investment to an outdoor art park and £4 million to the new canal centre, and it's good to see representatives of Scottish Canals here, will create a lasting appeal to visitors and make better use of our wonderful natural assets, whilst also making sure they are accessible. But talking about people, there's probably nothing more important than skills, and having a skills pathway is essential to delivering on that target of 2,000 new jobs through this deal. And that's why there's £4 million in the Innovation Skills Transition Centre, further £3 million being invested in the innovative industry projects. And that feels especially important here as we look to support people to reskill into the new and the exciting further opportunities that a green economy will bring. Just before I close, I wanted to touch on one other element around additional investment, because whilst our investment in the growth deals totals 40 million, we've also been clear that we would invest an additional 10 million pounds to ensure that Falkirk and the economy receive maximum benefit. And that will be directed to the Greener Grangemouth programme. And that seeks to address the risks and the impact of climate change that are placed on the community of Grangemouth through just transition to a greener and fairer future. So as I close, Cecil, thanks again for having me. I'm hugely inspired by the examples within this growth deal of how the whole country can move forward while tackling inequalities and creating opportunities as part of the green economy. There's a great strength in partnership here, and it's great to be joined by both the council as well as Ian Stewart to celebrate what is being achieved through the Falkirk Growth Deal today. That partnership working is key to ensuring that we get the greatest return on the deal investment. And as I started, that return is not just in the form of economic growth or in the form of new jobs. There are so many intangible benefits to the wider community as well. And today's signing allows that partnership to move a vital step forward and work towards achieving a full deal, which hopefully will ensure that we can deliver on the huge potential that these investments bring. So I am delighted to sign the heads of terms today and confirm the Scottish Government's commitment to Falkirk, highlighting our continued resolve to investing in our places and our people. And there's nothing like being under pressure while signing to mean that your signature is really dodgy, but never mind, it's signed. So thanks very much.
I thank Kate for her very kind words and indeed the challenge that's been put to Falkirk in delivering on our growth deal going forward. Can I now turn to the Minister, Ian Stewart, and ask him for his remarks and for him to sign on behalf of the UK Government.
Well, thank you very much, and it's an enormous pleasure to be joining you today. Sadly, virtually, due to the precautions that we all have with the new Omicron variant, but absolutely delighted to be here. I know there was a great push on to get this over the line this side of New Year, and so I'm delighted that we've been able to make it. My very first meeting after I was appointed as Minister was with you, Cecil, and some of your colleagues in Falkirk to discuss how we could get the quantum set and set out the process that's led us to today. So it's a personal sense of pride that we've managed to fulfil that. And setting the UK government's contribution of 40 million and also our being able to compress the timescale from 15 years to 10 years, which the Chancellor confirmed at the budget back in March. Before I talk about the deal in particular, let me just take a minute to put it in context. We now have, since the first deal was signed in Scotland back in 2014, we now have deals in motion in every part of Scotland. And that's, in total from the UK government side, £1.5 billion of investment. The thinking behind these deals is that they are transformative for the towns, cities and communities, driving investment, boosting economies and creating high quality, sustainable jobs. The deals are about creating the cities, towns and regions of the future and empowering communities to develop projects and collaborations that place Scotland at the forefront of innovation, research, technology, place and connectivity. And as with all deals, government officials from both Scottish Government and UK Government have worked closely with yourselves at Falkirk Council and the other partners to help shape this deal. What this has given us is your perspective on what you need through the deal. And that's why the projects the UK Government are supporting span a range of innovation and research and culture projects. These include, it's not an exhaustive list, the Carbon Dioxide Utilisation Centre, enabling the area to strive to become a UK centre for advanced carbon dioxide technology testing and provide a collaboration hub for CO2 emitters. The Bioeconomy Accelerator pilot plant will test and develop the portfolio of feedstocks for the chemical industry away from traditional fossil fuels and allowing emerging technologies to create greener products for the future. And the Falkirk Arts Centre is a transformational project which will create a vibrant new fulcrum for the region's cultural sector while igniting the renewal of Falkirk's town centre. That's just an example of the wide range of exciting projects in this growth deal, all of which are important in their own right. But importantly, they help deliver a collaborative approach to economic recovery across the area. And we've already seen that with Scottish Government's contribution that Kate has just mentioned, and from the UK Government, the £20 million investment as part of the Levelling Up Fund into some of the transport infrastructure. Signing the Heads of Terms agreement today means that we can crack on with these fantastic projects and make sure that they are the success we know they can be. Finally, can I just finish by thanking again all the partners for their enthusiasm and commitment in getting us to this stage today. But this is just the start of the hard work. I very much look forward to working with you all, hopefully in person when the restrictions can ease as we drive forward this deal. And now, just to make sure that we've done all the legal bits, I know what Kate means about under pressure to sign it properly while you're talking, but I can add my signature to the deal. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ian, for that, and we would be very delighted if we could eventually have the visit from both yourself and indeed to invite Kate to come through to actually see some of the sites that we look to be developing as part of the growth deal once the restrictions allow that to happen. I'm going to call on now to Charles Hammond, OBE from Forth Ports, for some remarks on behalf of our economic partnership. Charles.
Thank you very much, Cecil, and good afternoon, everybody. First of all, I want to say how delighted I am to see the Scottish Government, UK Government and Falkirk Council working in partnership to secure this deal. I think that's a really innovative move for any large industry in the area. And I'm very clear, because we run and own Scotland's largest port at Grangemouth, and it's in the middle really of Scotland's and one of the UK's largest manufacturing areas, it's important that this area has momentum and identity. And I think this deal gives that. So, Cecil, appreciate your leadership and yours too, Kenneth, and also Michael Matheson's wearing his hat as the local MSP to secure and push for this deal. So we are absolutely delighted to endorse it. It seemed to me there were two aspects of the projects and the deal that were quite interesting to me anyway. One was the emphasis on skills. And I think with all the supply chain resilience issues that we've been facing in the last probably 6 to 9 months or so, a career in logistics, transport, or indeed port services is a rewarding career. And I say that because we are a real living wage employer. So those careers will help to create jobs for younger people, even for returning ex-servicemen and for older people. And it will give a chance to alleviate deprivation, because some of the coastal communities we have beside our ports do experience serious deprivation issues. So that question of just transition or levelling up, whatever you want to call it, I think this deal will help to give confidence that people have a future and a chance to work in industries which will pay that type of real living wage. For us, we continue to be committed to invest in the area. 30% of Scotland's GDP goes through the Port of Grangemouth, and we have invested over £50 million in the last 5 years, really ensuring that we're ready in terms of productivity and capacity to meet the challenges of Scotland's export industries as they find new markets for their goods. And we've just recently announced a further 10 million of investment. We're going to build another warehouse, partly aimed at ensuring that Grangemouth is the freight hub of choice for Scotland. And that warehouse is going to be solar powered. Yes, the sun does shine in Grangemouth, and it shines sufficiently in Grangemouth to be able to power at least one warehouse, if not several, with solar panels and solar power. So it's nice to be able to announce an investment that also meets the other limb of this deal, which is the intent to transition to net zero and to become more carbon efficient. We're also announcing an investment in new container equipment to increase capacity in our container terminal, and those container handling straddle carriers will have the ability to run on alternative fuels, therefore lowering our carbon footprint. So we're really fully behind this deal. And my parting comment would be this: investment zones like this give industry confidence in doing more. And I look forward to getting to the point where between the Scottish Government and the UK Government, we have a Freeport or Greenport investment zone at the heart of Scotland, underpinning Grangemouth's place there. So thank you very much, and congratulations to everybody.
Thank you, Charles. And it's great to hear about the investment in the port, and it's very, very welcome. That aligns very much with the whole ethos of our investment zone going forward. When it comes to now Mr. Laurie, our Chief Executive, who will make some closing remarks. Kenneth.
Thank you, Cecil, and good afternoon to all of you. I'd like to thank all of our speakers today. This is a momentous and important day for Falkirk. I just wanted to reflect very briefly on the contribution of our speakers today. So the Cabinet Secretary spoke about the Scottish Government priorities around about tackling inequalities and supporting our economy and ending our contribution to climate change. With reference to how important it is that communities benefit from this investment and the focus on skills. And these are shared goals, of course, and I look forward to working with Scottish Government and all our partners to advance these in our area. The Minister spoke about the importance of transformational investment, and we certainly seek to have transformation in this area through this economic change that is now in prospect. He spoke about the collaborative approach to recovery, and collaboration has been at the heart of everything that we have done to get to this stage. Ian spoke about creating the cities and the towns and the regions of the future, and we are confident in Falkirk that we can create something which is very special and very important here, not just locally, but for Scotland and for the UK. And of course, the focus on industry and innovation and research and connectivity and culture, these are all things which are at the heart of this deal. It was also really good to hear from Charles Hammond. I mean, business and industry has been absolutely central to everything we've done as part of this deal. The centrality of manufacturing, the scale of the opportunity here, the emphasis on skills, the new careers and opportunities, the just transition, and also the focus on future investment and on exporting. And to hear that the announcement of a solar-powered warehouse seems to be the perfect announcement for a deal of this sort. That's a great innovation, industry moving forward, our contribution to net zero moving forward too. So my thanks to all of you and to the Council Leader for her introduction and leading us through today's event. I also wanted to thank all of those who have contributed to organising today's session. I know there's been challenges in terms of both timing and technology, and indeed to all of our partners who have contributed to this growth deal package. It's been a significant effort, and the bonds established in its formation will serve us well for the future. This growth deal complements the future growth ambitions of manufacturing and logistics companies like Ineos and Alexander Dennis, Forth Ports and Calican, major contributors to the national economy and vital to local communities. The opening of Forth Valley College's new campus and investments by innovators such as Hurrimel Pharmaceuticals and Kelton Renewables shows us a way forward for this area. And we're also seeing key heritage assets being enhanced, revitalising important historical assets such as the Rosebank Distillery and Zetland Park. With growth deal funding, Falkirk's chemical and manufacturing base can realise its full potential as an international proposition, becoming a resilient and adaptable industrial cluster with world-leading innovation and a focus on net zero industry and technology. With so many assets already at its disposal and so much going for it, the Falkirk and Grangemouth Investment Zone growth deal will consolidate our future industry base and accelerate the growth of new industries that will ensure a significant contribution to the Falkirk, Scottish and UK economies to 2050 and beyond. And by committing to a growth deal, the Scottish and UK governments are helping Falkirk Council and its partners drive a sustainable and inclusive recovery and a return to growth in this area. It will help ensure that the benefits of both public and private sector investment are felt in every corner of our region, and that alongside the creation of high-value jobs, there is a strategy to improve access to work, skills and education that all residents can benefit from. Falkirk Council has a reputation for delivery, for creating strong partnerships with industry and community, and we will do our utmost to use our expertise and our resources and our energy to ensure that this investment creates real and lasting value to the economy in Falkirk, in Scotland and across the UK. So today is a great lift-off point, and now we have to get on with it, and that is precisely what we intend to do. I'll now close today's event by thanking again all those that have made it possible, the contribution of our partners, our speakers today, and all those that have joined us for this signing ceremony. Now, I'll conclude simply by wishing all of you the very best for the festive season and a happy, healthy, and successful year ahead in 2022. Thank you very much and good afternoon.